Hi everyone, it's Kathy Maxson. Today we are going to make another Halloween wreath. We are going to be using black fabric mesh. I have two ribbons here. We're going to be making a bow. This little ghost came from the Dollar Tree, and then we're going to use one of the Dollar Tree 8-inch wreath forms. So here are some of the other items that the Dollar Tree had. So this is what the ghost one looks like. It says can fit in 14-inch wreath, but we're going to use our 8-inch wreath. They also had a skeleton, and they also had a Frankenstein. So I did pick up those this year. And then your 8-inch wreath form is a 2-pack. And what I did to prepare, I've already put a plastic canvas in the middle of my 8-inch wreath form. I did get these. This is what they are. They're a 5.75 inch round. So this is what they look like. And I just attached it to the inside with a few zip ties. So we're going to set our ghost aside. I'm going to set my ribbon aside. And the fabric mesh came from, it's what I had in my stash. So you can use any kind of mesh that you have. So this is what I chose. I have partial rolls. So that's what I'm using. But I did pick this up either at Craft Outlet or the Wreath Shop. So we're going to cut our pieces 10 inches. I got my rotary cutter here. You can, the fabric mesh has some twine or something in it, so I don't think a burning tool will work. So I'm going to cut just past this 10-inch. I don't know if you can see, so you can see. So there's some thicker, that's the twine, and then there's some plastic, the deco mesh. So I'm going to cut in between the two thicker lines, just past the 10-inch. And I'm going to just try to cut in between those two plastic pieces. I think I need to cut 2. I have everything else cut. So again, I'm just going to come past the one that's past the 10-inch. I think this mesh was 10.5 inch anyways, so that's okay. You will need some clips. I think that's right now all we need our mat for. Maybe you will see it better with our white ghost. So maybe I will leave that. So we're going to need pipe cleaners. Cut it in half. So I folded it in half. I thought I brought my... I did. My wire cutters. So I folded it in half, cut it, and then I'm just going to pre-fold my piece. You're going to need some clips. So we're going to do the curl side up, but what I'm going to do, the factory edges I'm going to have at the top and at the bottom. So we're going to join on the right hand side the raw cut edges. So I'm just going to line this up here as best I can. So I just want, because when we gather it, we're going to gather up this side over here. I want to make sure I'm getting all the raw edges in, and it's going to keep me straight. So I'm going to park my fold at the 10-inch, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to the 6-inch. So we're going to do 4 inches, so it leaves you about 1 inch that we're going to scrunch up. And you can see by how I mean our raw cut edges are going to fray and everything else. So that's kind of why I wanted to keep it as straight as possible. So we're going to look like a little curvy jellyfish. So what I'm going to do, since I pre-bent my pipe cleaner, I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to make sure I have all those loose edges in, and I'm just going to tighten as tight as I can. So do a couple twists, and then what I'm going to do is just cut off these crazy ends. So let's get our wreath form. So like I said, I took that 6-inch, 5.75 inch plastic canvas. Hobby Lobby, I believe that's in like where you do needlepoint in that. So I think you could either buy a big sheet, cut your own, or they have some circles already. So we're going to put at each crossbar, and then we're going to put one in the center at each section. I'm going to open up my pipe cleaner. I'm going to straddle the center and the outside bar, and I want my pipe cleaner here to be about the outside of the ring. So I'm just going to do it upside down so I can get a good tight, push it down, twist. I'm going to twist a bunch. So then that way our piece is as far out as possible on this little form. And we can just tuck that back in. So it's just going to be as close to the crossbar as you can. I have some already made. So let's keep going. Again, the center, we're going to do it through the center and then the outside bar. And when I swing it to the back, I want my pipe cleaner where I gathered it and attached the pipe cleaner to the mesh. I want that. I don't have my pliers down here. I want that as far as I can, because when we put our little ghost on, we'll at least have some background. So this will be a small wreath. So let's just go put all the ones by the crossbar on. And if your stuff is coming, that's why we're putting the fray ends inside the wreath. So there's our 3 on our crossbar. And then we're going to put then in between. Again, we're going through the center and around the outside. And we might do more. Oh, maybe my plan was to kind of overlap them. So then I can actually put another one there. So I think I cut enough. I think I cut like 10 or 11 we'll have total. So let's do that. So then that way they can overlap a little. So, and what you can do if you want, we can put oh, I guess that didn't come out even. I guess we can make them all kind of Have one side down and then the other side up, like that. So that is going to measure like about 15 inches, because here's 15 right here. So again, it's not going to be a big wreath by all means. And then what I wanted to do here was come in and do another row. So it's almost going to kind of look like a flower. But I just kind of thought wavy would have looked like, ooh, spooky. And then we're going to put a bow in between the ghost body. So that's what the plan is going to be. So I want to just make sure that I'm covering the mechanics on the row below it. So I'm going to probably put it there, which is probably about an inch below, a little over an inch below that bar. And then this is where you're going to just put it right into the canvas. So I'll cover it up like that. Okay, I have my piece. Remember, we cut about 10 inches. The factory edges are on the top and the bottom. We're going to fold it in half. I'm just clipping these raw edges to the side. And then I'm going to scrunch up about an inch from the bottom. I'm going to scrunch all the way across all those raw edges. Make sure you always have your pipe cleaner handy. Remember, we cut our pipe cleaners in half. So I'm going to pull left, pull right, twist. And then I'm just going to trim up. See, this is all that loose ends. Get that off the table. So I folded the other pieces. So let's continue on. So again, we just want to make sure we're covering the mechanics of the row behind it. And I'm trying to put it in the same spot. We went about an inch from the bottom ring of the wreath form. Right now I'm just twisting those down. Doing it all the same way. I'm just going to pull this other one. So that is our wreath. So now we're going to figure out where our ghost is going. So it comes with a lot of little strings. I don't think we're going to need that many. Is it? Because I have to make a bow big enough that I want to fill this little center, and then it's going to cover the mechanics down there. So I don't think these strings at its head and its arms are going to really work for me. I'm going to at least use the ones that are at the bottom. I'm just wondering if I can poke through this fabric. All I'm doing is trying to poke my sharp pipe cleaner through the back of it. Coming out a little bit. You can always then go back and glue over the hole so it doesn't fray anymore. This little end piece is kind of getting stuck on the little sharp pointy end was getting stuck on the. I'm just trying this. Oh, there we go. You can, you know, stuff it more if you want. So like I said, what I can do then is come back in and make sure I hot glue that, so then it doesn't rip out. So I don't think I'm going to use, like I said, I don't think I'm going to use these ones up here. So I'm going to cut those off with my not sharp scissors. But I will use the ones at the bottom of its body. So we want it about there, and like I said, our bow will go in between, like that's its body. So let's feed this through. I'm going to try to feed it around the mesh to the back so I don't ruin the mesh. You know, and if the customer wants, they can always remove the ghost, put something else. They can, you know, still have the stuffing. Always seems like it was coming out. So let's see if we can feed our ribbon through these little holes. For now, I'm just going to tie it in a bow in the back, just because I want to make sure not to tie it too tight. But I want to see if I'm going to need to put mesh or something in the middle. So for now, I'm going to leave that there. Okay, so when you get your pieces fed through, kind of figure out where you want it. I'm going to flip it over again. Like I said, I don't want to do it too tight for right now. I will come back in and tie them in knots in that, but I just want to make sure Oopsie. So that is what it's going to look like, and then we're going to add our bow. So the ribbon I have boo. We could put the boo in the middle, and then I have this ghost. So now what happens with this is it looks like it's directional, and I paid $1 for it, so it's been in my stash. I think it's a 3-yard roll. Darcy.com, or I should say Derice. So that means it probably came from Packatans, which we all know was like AC Moore and is closed. So to do directional ribbon, going to make a loop, and then but he does go upside down there. Well, what we can do is make tails another way. Okay, I kind of want my ribbon, my loosey end in the back. I'm just trying to figure out like how big we want it, because we don't want to cover up we want to cover up our center, but we don't want to cover up so that is, if I leave about an inch tail, it's about a 4-inch loop. I think I saw somebody, they just wrap but when they open it up, some of our ghosts will go upside down. So that is about 8 inches. And then, like I said, we will, we're going to do that. So then we'll have 3. So 3 loops on that side, and I'll have 3 loops on this side. I'm going to try this. I got another spool. I know it's only 3 yards. So then I'm just going to, because I did the overlap, and I did the overlap there. So here's my overlap, here's my overlap. I'm just going to fold it in half, find my center. I'm going to stick it in there. Why one side looks bigger than the other, I don't know. Okay, we'll do that. My boo, so those were 8 inches, so let's do like, let me trim off these pointy edges here, because the ribbon's coming through. And this I paid $2.49. This is like Joanne Fabrics. So there, there. So I want my boo to stay going the same way. So I'm just going to do 7-inch. We're going to fold it in half, find the center, scrunch up the center, and I'm going to put that right there. Let's do another one. So if you are like pricing your items to sell, I usually write on my ribbon, you know, how much did I spend, how much a yard. You know, am I spending? So then when you figure out your cost, okay, so we can crisscross those. We'll do that. We can add tails after. Let's get a pipe cleaner. let's see what the bow looks like first, right? So I pulled it up out of my holder there. I take my pipe cleaner, make sure my back one is, I kind of want to make sure they're even. So I'm going to squeeze, pull left, pull right, and tighten as tight as I can. So let's see what this looks like. So I'm going to open up our loops. Like I said, I may have to do that bow's upside down. Oh no, because I guess our bow's going to go this way. Guess I should have made sure that I could see that it said boo. Open up our loops. Are in the center, and the two inside I pull out. See, it kind of gives them like a little bow tie in there. But I do not like, because I don't like this. So I will show you, I have something made. I have to go get it first. Okay, so I removed the bottom of our ghost. So what I had made when I was trying to figure out what petal I was going to do, I cut a piece 15 inches. It was like in the cylinder, it was in the cylinder form. Here, I have a part. Here, what was left of this one. Let me show you. So I cut my piece like 15 inches. And when it was a cylinder, what I did, so when it was curled up, I overlapped my raw edges. So you can kind of see I overlapped my raw edges. I pressed it down, and then what I did, I just gathered up the middle where the raw edges were. So that's why, I mean, this piece is not even 10 inches. But you can kind of see that it forms kind of like, it looks like a little flower. To me, it looks like a little flower. Other people describe it as a butterfly. So you make, this one is only like 8 inches. Yeah, so this piece is only like 8 inches. So it'll be twice as big. So cut like 15-inch piece, cylinder it, put the good side down. You want the raw side up where they overlap, and just scrunch up the middle. And then put your pipe cleaner in the middle, and then this is what it will turn out to be. So I only need, and then I used a big pipe cleaner, a full pipe cleaner, because I wasn't sure. It was kind of thick, so I'm like, oh, I didn't want to have to deal with the half pipe cleaner. So I'm just going to get this in here. I'm going to put it where my two ends meet, kind of. I'm going to kind of tuck them under the ghost arms. I just kind of wanted something in there to help hold the bow up so it's not sunk in. So that will just kind of fill in the center. So we'll tie that off. Uh-oh, see? And there's my ghost. It did tie into a knot. Okay, now let's retry to feed the bottom in. So this is what I did. I put the one piece under, and then I'm putting the other piece over. So then when I pull it down, it will quit sticking to the mesh. Remember, mesh grabs everything. It will kind of still pull it down, and it just kind of, I just kind of want this because the bow should cover that. And then see, and good thing I did some black, so you can, the top and the bottom, you're going to see a little bit like where our bow is here and our bow is here. I'll pull it a little tighter just so I can see where I'm at here. Again, I'm just going to tie it in a little bow for now. See what it looks like. Okay, so that's what we have. You can see, you can kind of see the canvas there and the canvas there, but I think our bow on the side, I guess my bow is upside down. So much for me doing the bows the right way, huh? So then now I could just feed this pipe cleaner on either side here of the piece I just put in. Oh, we wanted to, do we want to make tails up? Maybe we don't need tails. Because then will that take away from... I probably should have put the ghost a little closer together because you can kind of see how it's split. You can kind of see the split. But this is what we have. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it's about 15 inches. I'm going to probably, off camera, I'm going to probably move the tail, the bottom part of the ghost up a little closer, just so my bow will kind of hide where you can see where it ends. I don't want to see that. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.